Hi everyone! I have a book to read with you today called A Cuddle for Little Duck, and it's by Freedman and Pedler. And it tells you about what a duck does during his day. And when we're done, I would like to tell you a little bit about what I did on my day, and you can think about what you did during your day today. All right. The sun is up, and so am I. I've woken Mommy too. I just can't wait to start our day. We've lots to see and do. We waddle to the riverbank. I flop in on my tummy. I'm learning now, but when I'm big, I want to swim like Mommy. I run to the meadow next to see what I can see. Oh, hello, Whizzy Dragonfly. Good morning, Buzzy Bee. Can you try a Buzzy Bee sound? Buzz. I go down to the pond to swim and chase some butterflies when suddenly a frog jumps out and gives me a surprise. At lunchtime, when the sun is hot, a shady spot's the best. My mommy tells me stories while we cuddle close and rest. Hooray! Here come my duckling friends. We love to play together. We peekaboo among the reeds and chase a floating feather. Now watch me do this funny trick. It makes my friends all giggle. I stick my tail up in the air and do a little wiggle. I peep into the water's edge. Wow, look at me, I quack. It's almost bedtime, Mommy calls. We should be heading back. I cuddle up on Mommy's back. I love you, Mom, I say, then fall asleep to dream about another lovely day. The end. So do you remember how Little Duck's morning started? Because I want to talk about some ways that our day might be the same as this little duck. What was the first thing that happened? You remember? First things first, Little Duck had to wake up. And he woke his mom up too, which I remember doing when I was little. But you always should check with your mommy when is a good time to wake her up, because she is getting some valuable rest that she needs, right? Mommies and daddies and grandmas and aunties and any grown-up who may be taking care of you. Do you remember the next thing that happened in the story? Little Duck woke up and then they went to the pond for a swim. And the duckling jumped in, right flopping on his tummy. Have you ever done a belly flop? That's kind of what the little duckling did. But ducks have different bodies than we do. They have wings instead of arms and feet that help them swim. So when they swim, it looks very different than when you or I might swim. But swimming is something that you might do just the same as Little Duck during your day. Do you remember what happened next? Well, we made a buzz sound because the duckling went to the meadow and saw a dragonfly and a bee. Have you ever been out looking in nature and seen some flowers and some dragonflies or some bees? Can you believe we have so much in common with a duck? And then after that, the duckling goes back to the pond and he meets a frog. And the frog jumps out and it gives the duck a surprise. Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me quite a bit. In fact, I'm very easily startled. And sometimes if somebody comes by and surprises me and I don't know that they're there, I say, "Woo!" and I give a little scream. That might happen to you. It might not. You might not be easily startled like I am. And then after that, they have lunch. And at lunchtime, they find someplace nice and cool to rest, which is also something that you might do during your day. Maybe you even take a nap after your lunch. I do sometimes. It's pretty great. And then his friends come over. The duckling's friends come to play. And I am sure that you have some friends who come over to play, even if right now that's not something that's happening because we're all staying inside of our own homes to stay healthy and to help other people stay healthy too. All right, and then this might be my favorite part of the book. The duckling has a little trick that he does. He puts his tail up in the air and he does a wiggle. It's like his dance move. And I have some dance moves that are pretty great, and I'm thinking that you probably do too. So yet another thing that we might do during our day that's just like the little duck, some dancing. And then the duck looks at himself in a reflection. Now, a reflection in the pond, if you haven't looked at your reflection in a pond, I bet you have looked at your reflection in a mirror. Yes? The last thing that happens in Duckling's day is the end of his day. And he goes to lay down with his mommy, which is a wonderful, cuddly thing to do. Do you sleep on your mommy's back like this? Probably not. But we do like to snuggle with the ones who love us, don't we? Yes. Well, I'm glad that you joined me to read through A Cuddle for Little Duck and to talk about some ways that what little duck does during his day are just like what we might do during our day. You can even tell me in the comments what some things are that you like to do. Maybe I have a book about them that I could read. I'll see you next time. Until then, you find some things to do during your day that might be just like little duck.